you don't realize how much danger you are in. Now that I, 23F, am back from Germany, I've had some time to reflect on my trip. But it's hard to think positively, considering what happened to me on the last night in Stuttgart, and I'd like a place to talk about it. I'd spent about 2 weeks traveling around Germany for the Euros, and considering how many fellow Scotland fans were there for the games, I never felt completely alone, despite being a solo traveler in a foreign country. I guess I became too trusting of the older groups of Scots who'd buy me drinks and chat with me all night about where they were from and who they knew. Just typical Scottish chats. I let my guard down. That last night in Stuttgart started like most other nights in Germany. I'd be by myself and get noticed by a group of older men or women who'd ask who I was with. When they heard I was alone, they'd remark on how brave I was as a good-looking lassie, being there on my own. I'd then be welcomed into the group, drinking, celebrating, and that night, even crying with them after Scotland lost. Determined to enjoy my last night, I said goodbye to my new friends, put on a short white dress, draped my Scotland flag over my